Chapter 1. The Beginning. As the golden hues of the setting sun bathed the old town in a warm, amber glow, Emily sat on the porch of her childhood home, a soft smile playing on her lips. The house, with its creaking wooden floors and weathered walls, had seen better days, yet it stood as a testament to the countless memories embedded within its frame. It was here that Emily's story began. A story intertwined with love, loss, and the realization that true happiness lies in the simple yet profound moments spent with family. Emily was born into a modest family in a small, close-knit town where everyone knew everyone else. Her parents, John and Mary, were hard-working individuals who valued honesty, integrity, and above all, the bond they shared as a family. John was a carpenter, known for his skill in crafting beautiful furniture, while Mary was a schoolteacher, beloved by her students for her kindness and patience. Growing up, Emily had a happy childhood, surrounded by the warmth and love of her parents and her younger brother Thomas. The four of them lived in a small but cozy house at the edge of the town, where the vast fields stretched out as far as the eye could see. Summers were spent running barefoot through the fields, chasing butterflies, and lying on the grass, staring up at the endless blue sky. Winters were filled with the scent of freshly baked cookies, the sound of crackling firewood, and the comforting embrace of thick blankets. But what Emily remembered most vividly were the family dinners. Every evening, no matter how busy they were, the family would gather around the dinner table, sharing stories, laughter, and sometimes tears. John would often regale them with tales of his day at work, while Mary would share amusing anecdotes from her classroom. Thomas, with his boundless energy and mischievous grin, would eagerly talk about his latest adventures, leaving everyone in stitches. It was during these dinners that Emily learned the importance of family. It wasn't just about being related by blood, it was about being there for each other, through thick and thin. It was about the little gestures, a comforting hand on the shoulder, a knowing smile, or a shared look that spoke volumes. It was about the sense of belonging, of knowing that no matter what happened, there would always be a place where she was loved and accepted for who she was. Chapter 2. Trials and Tribulations. As the years passed, Emily grew up and moved away to attend college in a bustling city far from home. Life in the city was exciting, filled with new experiences and opportunities. Emily studied literature, her passion for storytelling fueling her desire to become a writer. She made new friends, explored different cultures, and even fell in love for the first time. But despite all the excitement, there was always a part of her that longed for the simplicity and comfort of home. During her time away, Emily remained close to her family, often calling them to share her experiences and hear about their lives. Her parents were always supportive, encouraging her to pursue her dreams while reminding her to stay grounded. Thomas, who had grown into a fine young man, followed in their father's footsteps, becoming a skilled carpenter. He often sent Emily pictures of his latest projects, proudly displaying his work. But life, as it often does, threw the family a curveball. One cold winter evening, Emily received a call that changed everything. Her father had been in an accident at work, leaving him with a severe injury that made it impossible for him to continue his carpentry. The news shook Emily to her core. She felt helpless, so far away from home and unable to do anything to ease her family's pain. Emily immediately flew back home, leaving behind her studies and her life in the city. She knew that her place was with her family during this difficult time. The once lively house was now filled with a heavy silence, the absence of her father's laughter echoing through the empty rooms. John, who had always been the pillar of strength for the family, was now confined to a wheelchair, his spirit dampened by the loss of his livelihood. But Mary, ever the resilient one, held the family together. She took on extra work, tutoring students in the evenings to make ends meet. Emily and Thomas stepped up as well, helping out wherever they could. Emily found a job at the local library, while Thomas took on small carpentry jobs that didn't require heavy lifting. Together, they managed to keep the family afloat, but the strain was evident. Through it all, they never lost sight of what was truly important. Even in the darkest of times, they continued their tradition of family dinners. The conversations were more subdued, the laughter less frequent, but the bond remained strong. It was during these dinners that they found solace in each other's company, drawing strength from the love they shared. Chapter 3. Healing and Hope. Time, as it often does, brought healing. John slowly began to recover, though he would never be able to work as a carpenter again. Instead, he found a new passion in teaching woodworking to young apprentices, passing on his skills to the next generation. It wasn't the same as working with his hands, but it gave him a sense of purpose and fulfillment. Emily, too, found her way back to her dreams. With her family's encouragement, she began writing again, pouring her heart into stories inspired by her experiences. She wrote about love, loss, and the unbreakable bonds of family, drawing from the well of emotions that had built up over the years. Her writing resonated with many, and soon she found herself with a small but devoted readership. Thomas, ever the optimist, continued to grow in his craft. He started his own carpentry business, specializing in custom furniture that blended traditional techniques with modern designs. His work gained recognition, and soon he had a steady stream of clients who admired his craftsmanship. As life slowly returned to normal, Emily realized that the challenges they had faced had only strengthened their bond as a family. They had weathered the storm together, emerging on the other side with a deeper appreciation for each other and the simple joys of life. It was during one of their family dinners, now filled with laughter and light once again, that Emily had a revelation. As she looked around the table at the faces of those she loved most, she realized that this was true happiness. It wasn't about the big achievements or the material successes. It was about these moments, shared with the people who mattered most. Chapter 4. The next generation years passed, and life continued its steady march forward. Emily published her first novel, a deeply personal story about a family much like her own. It was well received, earning her praise and recognition in the literary world. But more than the accolades, what meant the most to her were the letters she received from readers who had been touched by her words. Many of them shared their own stories of family and love, and Emily felt a profound connection to these strangers, united by the universal experience of family. Thomas's business thrived, and he eventually married a kind-spirited woman named Lily. Together, they built a life filled with love, laughter, and a shared passion for craftsmanship. They had 2 children, a boy named Jack and a girl named Sophie, who brought a new wave of joy into the family. John and Mary, now doting grandparents, found a new lease on life through their grandchildren, delighting in the simple pleasures of playing with them and watching them grow. Emily, too, found love. She married a fellow writer named Daniel, and together they built a life that blended their shared passion for storytelling with their love for family. They often visited her childhood home, where the whole family would gather for holidays and special occasions. The house, once filled with the laughter of Emily and Thomas as children, now echoed with the joyful sounds of the next generation. Looking back on her life, Emily realized that her parents had been right all along. The greatest happiness in life wasn't found in fame, fortune, or success, but in the love and connection she shared with her family. They had been her anchor, her guiding light, and her greatest source of joy. Chapter 5: Reflections. As Emily sat on the porch of her childhood home, now much older and wiser, she reflected on the journey that had brought her here. The house, weathered and worn, stood as a symbol of the enduring strength of her family. It had seen them through good times and bad, through laughter and tears, and it remained a place of comfort and love. Emily thought about her parents, now in their twilight years, still as in love as they were when they first met. She thought about Thomas, who had grown into a man their father would be proud of, and about the children who were the future of their family. She thought about the stories she had written, the lives she had touched, and the legacy she would leave behind. But most of all, she thought about the countless moments, big and small, that had made up her life. The family dinners, the shared laughter, the quiet conversations late at night, the comforting embrace of her mother, the encouraging words of her father, the playful banter with her brother. These were the moments that mattered, the moments that had shaped her into the person she was. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting the world in shades of twilight, Emily felt a deep sense of peace. She knew that when she looked back on her life, she wouldn't remember the awards, the accolades, or the accomplishments. She would remember the love, the laughter, and the joy she had shared with her family. And that, she realized, was the greatest happiness of all.